All right. Hi ho, security journeymen and veterans alike. I'm Brian. This is my stream. Hope everyone's having a good day. I'm sitting here on a Wednesday afternoon. Hey, Age of Music. How you doing? Good on you. Glad to see you. We're going to talk about security for Thank you, Age of Music. I got cool background, and I got a thing. I got a chroma. Yeah. Trust me, that's a pain in the ass to set up. I mean, because it also works if I stand up, but it's about 6 foot high, and I have it on a couple of speakers because otherwise, if I stood up with it, it would like the top half of the picture would not work. But it works for my purposes currently, and I'd love to get something that's a little bigger, a little wider maybe, so that I don't have to like scrunch up in here because this thing is literally right there. So, but yeah, appreciate you calling me professional because that's never happened before. Even when I call myself semi-professional. So, yeah. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a good day. I did not go yesterday because the world, I don't want to say the world is melting because of libwebp, because it's not really melting. I think this is one of those vulnerabilities where people are like, okay, and it's one of those ones that it's very subtle, right? People are like, oh, yeah, Google patched it in their browsers and all that. And then it's like, oh, yes, but it's in other things that your systems might use or process, user, audio or video, or, one of your favorite systems like OpenCV or WebRTC or things like that. So, was working on some discussions about that, and there's other vulnerabilities coming out. We found out later. What was it? Let me pull up the big. Let me see. What was it? Libcurl Twitter. Sorry, none of you can see this. I will. Damn, oh, wait, I have it in Slack. I have it in our Slack. I have it in our Discord, too. So, there we go. All right. I'm trying to get the Discord up here. I posted it up into the Discord yesterday. Yeah, Age of Music. There's a lot of folks that don't realize that it's beyond, and this is, I don't want to say Google's fault, but they definitely did not think of the ramifications of, oh, hey, yeah, there's other places our library could be used. Thank you. I do need some emoji packs. Thank you so much. I will get those because I am a Nitro user. So let me see, where was it? So yesterday, I don't want to say this is chilling, but if this person has anything to do with the development of, I'll just click on the fucking link. All right. So this person, Daniel or Badger, he says, we're cutting the release cycle short and will release curl 8.40 on October the 11th, including a fix for a severity high CVE. Buckle up. Now, for CVSS users or abusers, high could be anywhere between a 7 to 9, which isn't awful, but it's not a critical, but it's not good either, And the fact that the person said, we're cutting the release cycle short and going to release this early, means that it is important enough that they need to push this fairly soon. And it says, so they're under embargo as well. They say I cannot reveal any further details until October the 11th. So there's some additional context here we're not aware of. They've been given some information from a security researcher. It's under embargo, so they're not allowed to legally say anything. So somebody said, pretty much yes, but this time actually the worst security problem found in curl in a long time. Oh, God. So I'll tell you why I'm like, oh my God, this is awful. There's a lot of embedded systems. There's a lot of IoT. There's a lot of things that tend to use libcurl for collecting updates or running code that like gets and pulls, right? I'm going to push something like a log file, or I'm going to push credentials across, or what have you. The fact that this person, who I'm assuming has something to do with, I don't know who this person is, on Wolf S. Okay, so they're on team Wolf SSL, which is an embedded SSL. They're talking about libcurl. This has all the hallmarks of hot garbage. And I'm hoping that my FUD and my overreaction here is going to be downplayed quite a bit, but I'm not. I'm not confident about that. Libcurl is amcurl, because that's used all over the place. Even by applications. Applications will call libcurl to run updates or to check for updates or to push and pull stuff, not just embedded systems. So libcurl, even though this libcurl is a high issue, and like this person said, the worst that they've seen, in a while, I think more people use libcurl and curl than they do like WebP and libvpx and glibc. Well, maybe not glibc, but yeah, there's a lot of problems here. Yes, in fact, the curl tool has logic that makes it less likely to hit the problem, but not totally avoid it. So yes, both. Okay, so more curl than libcurl, but I have a Toyota Corolla. Fucker. Only high. This is our score. NVD will likely go full meltdown on it. Any timescales of when the CVE will be disclosed? About 30 seconds after the 840 release announcement on October the 11th. Did y'all purposefully choose the biggest e-com day of the year as the day to also release this? Okay, well, yeah. Good Lord. Pardon me. Bless me. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting October the 11th for everybody who does risk management, VMR. Communicate to your teams that there may or may not be something ugly coming down. If your teams especially use it, you've got to, I'd say, a couple days to start, looking through your code repos, coordinating with teams. I wouldn't say just say, hey, where might we use libcurl or curl in our environment? Coordinating this ahead of time. I mean, we're getting out ahead of it by the person. And this is why I hate that Twitter is going the way it's going, because this is the kind of stuff that it's like, hey, we probably need to let people know that this is coming. There's going to be some people like, if you were on your phone today about 11:20 Pacific time, you heard the national notification or testing chance. And do you have your pentagram down there, Age of Music, waiting for say it in reverse, or saying it in reverse. You got to say all your stuff in reverse. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say this person's overblowing it, but he probably knows a little bit. So we'll see what happens. The other one that I've been monitoring, libvpx, so on the heels of libwebp, which is a graphics kind of thing, libvpx is a processor and a manager for VP8 and VP9 video, for like YouTube videos, and it was also created by the Googs, and so there's a vulnerability in that as well, less necessary, So So yeah, there's 10 security fixes. 2023 5217 actively exploited in the wild. It's affecting WebM project library VPX. 27th February, September. Having an exploit in the wild. Likelihood isn't clear yet. This classification makes a vulnerability an urgent concern, but it says it's an 8.8. So allows remote attackers to execute heap corruption through the use of crafted HTML page. So it's not too difficult to do. libvpx is probably also it is in Chrome, yeah, but it will be in things like FFmpeg and VLC, because VLC calls FFmpeg library, which calls libvpx. If you're using bog standard FFmpeg. Excellent. Okay, I got to save that one. I have to save that one. That's going to be a good one. So yeah, it bears a striking resemblance to our recent 2023 4863. Both CVEs are heap overflows. Let me maximize this. There we go. Both share the same CVSS score, 8.8. Both were disclosed by Google and initially believed to affect only Chrome. Later had both their CPE values updated to affect their association with WebM project and the dependencies of many other software products like Electron, WebRTC, OpenCV, media players. Both attacks involve crafted HTML pages as their attack vector. GStreamer, Telegram desktops, SmartTube. I don't know that one. GStreamer's another one. A lot of organizations that process audio and video or do streaming. Grant me the serenity to accept that my system will be hacked, the courage to frequently update, and the wisdom to disable default settings. Yes, ramen. Yeah, there you go, Age. So it says while VPX seems to be less widespread than libwebp, they also identified vulnerable library and container images collectively downloaded and deployed over 100 million times, such as Elixir, Erlang, Silverpeas, Gazebo, Roz, and Nuxio. Never heard of any of these folks, but apparently they're pretty big use. I saw in Rust and other places that pull down packages, they sometimes use it too. So if you have an application like a Rust application or Node.js or something like that, you may want to look in your Rust and your Python libraries, especially if you've got something that processes audio or video images, for both of these vulnerabilities, because that's going to be very important. I've been remiss in my duties. I'm going to pop these links in our chats. I'm also simulcasting this on YouTube. I've also done something fairly rash. I'll mention people about in a second. So for those of you who just joined, go check out what your libcurl and your curl implementations in your organizations are like. If you have product that you make, or you have applications that use these things, or you have you haven't patched your browsers yet. This is the libwebp is going on about a month. So I think the timeline from the Isosceles blog was September 7th, was disclosed to Apple for iMessages, but the CVE came out on the 13th of September. So I don't know if this is a trend. I don't know if this is something that's going to continue to happen, but there are a lot of, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the term circle of life, but everything's kind of interconnected. And we're seeing, at least me, glibc is the other one. Glibc vuln. Yes. Looney Tunables Linux bug gives root on major distros. So if you are a fan of the Linux distros, I don't know if it affects things like WSL or if it affects Windows. I'm assuming not. I do have it on good authority that some parts of Android use a custom glibc implementation that may or may not be vulnerable, but you may want to check if you have mobile applications. Also, if you have mobile applications run those in your environment, libwebp, VPX, and those. So So yeah, it's interesting. They're not. This list is like, so this was done by Qualys. Qualys found, they said the flaw was introduced in April 2021 because they look at the commits, right? So we can, go back and git blame, or I don't know why they call it git blame, because it makes it feel like you can say, well, that developer screwed the pooch, and released this or created this. But yeah, so glib 2.34, leading to full root on major distros like Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, highlights this vulnerability, severity, and widespread nature. So they say major distributions like Fedora, Ubuntu, and Debian. Does that mean other ones like Arch and Gentoo and all these ones that are kind of off on their own thing? Because Ubuntu is really a flavor of Debian. If it's Fedora, does that mean Red Hat and CentOS are also vulnerable to this? It would be interesting to figure that out. So they say Debian's 12 and 13, Ubuntu 22.04 and 23.04, and Fedora's 37 and 38. Alpine, which uses Musel's libc, is not affected. Yeah, so different implementations of libc, like Android, may use their own version of libc or have their own type, and then Musel's libc is not affected. So anything that uses Musel libc, which may be why other Linuxes are not as vulnerable. So, doink. So yeah, there's a number of vulnerabilities out, and I've been talking about stuff like this for years privately with other folks. It's like there are so many things out there that I don't think get a lot of eyeballs until somebody else decides to start looking at it. And it's usually the bad guys first, because it feels like they're targeting things that are widely used but are a dependency. We saw this with Log4j, of course. libwebp is the next one that I would consider to be like a dependency that is not well known but used everywhere because it's in there. VPX, glib, there's other ones like when I was building OpenBSD back in the day, and this like 10, 15 years ago, there was one called gettext. And so one of the things that I was looking at when this first came out, I would do searches for like libwebp and then dependencies. And Arch Linux actually has a really good a really good page. I haven't found anything similar with other systems, but you can go in and see what it's required by. And since it's a Linux, a lot of these make sense. So you're seeing everything that that libwebp uses. So you got Allegro, Java, Chromium, of course, all the electrons, Emacs. I'm waiting for Emacs Linux to come out as a kernel. All it needs is a kernel, right? Because libwebp also has one called demux, which is, there's muxing and demuxing, right? So this is one of the libraries or the SOs that it needs, shared objects that it needs. You have MB server. So I don't know what some of these are, like MB server. Bring together your it's it's like a Plex server or something like that. So bring our media player of some kind. So of course anything music, videos, photos, live TV is going to use that, and there's dependencies all over the ass for this one. libjpeg is another one. I think we had one a couple years back that had libjpeg, which everybody used. If you use Krita or GIMP for graphics, and Giggle, which is GIMP's language for image processing framework. So I mean there's a lot of systems out there that use these things like let me go get text here. Let me see. Get text. Get text dependencies. There we go. See, Arch Linux, boom, to the rescue again. It is used in so many things. So many things. Wine, said. I mean, all we need is a vulnerability found in gettext that could, glib, there's a lot of things. And the problem is get text is like, it is very much log4j. Like it's like it's not first level. So it's like you're going to do VLC, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do this. And then everything builds and needs get text to do anything. So there's going to be a ton of these things that you're going to, look through and go, oh yeah, okay, and it's just not, oh, here's grub. So yeah, you find a vulnerability in get text, you may be able to, do something in grub to cause it to happen, because, you need get text to do grub, or in base, for instance. Minimal package set. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. So, I don't know if there's a better way of doing it. I mean, there are workarounds where it's like you can actually build your own custom FFmpeg to remove all plugins except for the ones you need. For some orgs, that may not be necessary. That may not be useful. You may use bog standard FFmpeg, in which case you're going to be patching everything that bog standard FFmpeg comes up with. And so this goes along the lines of all the software supply chain stuff. It's, if it isn't dependencies in a Linux, it's going to be, packages in a Node.js, or it's going to be, a Rust crate, or it's going to be a Python package, or in pip, or what have you. So glibc, Qualys researchers discovered other high security. Yes. Brag. Pull kit. Yeah. PK exec component. Yeah. Here. So yeah, that's one. There's actually, like of the three that we're dealing with right now. Yeah, I'm imagining that the libvpx is very similar to libwebp because they probably share a lot of the same code. One just handles VP8 and VP9 video codecs instead of, WebP graphics. But, I don't know if Google makes anything else like that for processing. Let me see. Google libraries for audio and video. No, open source. How about just open source? No. Yeah, OpenShot was another one mentioned on there. So if you use it to process video or audio, I've used OpenShot from time to time. Let's see, Inkscape. Yeah, Inkscape was on there. All of these would probably have some or all of those libraries in there. LibreOffice was definitely called out as one that had WebP and VPX in, or at least WebP. Yeah, Wacom tablets. Yeah. So, anyway, that's that is where we're at right now, at least this week and in the next couple weeks. You've got libcurl coming up. You've got the other two that are already in flight, which hopefully you're working on. glibc is also in flight, and then whatever curl or libcurl is being used, you'll have to work on that one next week, and maybe we'll talk about that one more in depth. So, incurses is another one of those systems that you have to worry about. Programming library providing API that allows programmers to write text-based user interfaces. That's another one that's everywhere, all over, Linux and what have you. So, but yeah, I don't know. Let's go see what we got going on over here. Let's see. I was trying to read that one. That was NPR. So, Threat Intel. We did the Sockville survey on Sunday, so you can. Well, what's the thing about LLM? Are you mean like LLMs, or is there a library called that? Wait, let me. Where are you at? It's on that list. Oh, well, let me back it up here. LMMS. It's an alternative to FL Studio. Might not be as popular, but it's very complete and easy to use. I think this was me looking up, audiovisual production tools. LMMS. Let's go see. X64 lib WebP. I mean, if Arch doesn't have a package for that, then it may not be in there. So the list that I've got here, and I was telling people this, I was like, this is incomplete because Arch Linux may not have every package available to it there. So. There we go. Keywords. So Arch any, and we go do a search for libwebp as no. Oh, okay. So it's not a package search per se, but it'll be a library. So LMMS may not have the vulnerabilities in it. I was looking for more open source audio visual libraries. So my apologies for the confusion there. I was trying to find out if there was another way to look for, Google libraries that might have that. So yeah, my bad. That's on me. LMMS, yeah, is libwebp and Ubuntu. There we go. I didn't think about doing it like that. Let's see if they give you any ideas on Mantic Minotaur. Okay. Let's see, built packages. So yeah, see all of these packages in Ubuntu are based on libwebp. So you've got dmux, dmux2, libwebp6. You've got webp, debug symbols. Yeah, exactly, Age. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, lossy compression for digital photographic images. Hey, Lady P. What's up? I was on time today, Lady P. Hello. Yeah, I was just talking with Age here about libwebp and libvpx and libcurl and those. So, but yeah, not finding anything else. So I was technically 24 hours late. Technically. Let's see. So, let me see. I come by it honestly, though. I had to send an email that took me 4 hours to write because of reasons that I won't go into here. Oh. So, you were right, Lady P. I was less correct. So we'll just go there. So if you have Jira, looks like I didn't know about this one either, but yeah, there you go. Jira, 0-day exploit. Awesome. 2023, 22,515. Yeah, the problem was the email that I had to write was based on data and information from after September 20th, 2021. So I was unable to use that. How many people do you suppose it would take to make it look like the wave instead of a small group of mental patients? Well, yeah, that's true. I am kind of mental, so yeah. I used to do that. When my daughter was younger, I used to act like an orangutan. I was like, I used to walk around like that. It was funny then. It's still funny. It's still funny now, but yeah, she probably wouldn't laugh. So yeah, good. We got some Confluence stuff, as if all we need now is a Cisco vulnerability by the end of the week. And I mean, we'll check off your bingo cards. So Confluence data center versions upgrade their instances as soon as possible to one of the fixed versions. I see your comment there, Lady P. I see your comment. Company recommends checking Confluent instances for indicators of compromise, including unexpected members of the Confluence administrator group. Unexpected newly created user accounts. Well, yeah. So, we got a new administrator. We must have hired somebody. Yeah, no, you didn't. You need to pop that IR real good. Presence of setup/setup administrator.action and an exception message. Well, these are nice actionable things. This is great. You should automatically be looking for these things anyway. Well, at least the new accounts or new users, especially if as the admins of your Jira or your Confluence, you didn't create any new users, or you didn't get an email saying your automation bot did so. With the release of a patch, heightened possibility they will bin diff the released security patches to uncover the patched weakness, potentially speeding up the creation of usable exploit. Yes, exactly. Anyway, so there's a vulnerability in Atlassian, so go check that out. Oh, look, Discord moderation panel now has AI moderation feature. You can now detect unwanted messages based on your channel's moderation patterns. Uh-oh. Does that mean nobody's going to be able to post anything, Lady P? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, she's going to get me. So, yeah, previous incidents, Avos Locker, Cerber 2021, Linux botnet malware, and crypto miners. Very good. It was good to see Walt the other day on Sunday night. We did our Sockville it was good to see Walt online. It was good. And I'm glad to see Age here and Lady P and our other viewer who's shy. How do I ban the streamer? What? You can't ban the streamer. Oh, man, now I'm going to have to, hold on, I'm just going to go check and see who our admins are right now. I'm going to have to go in and just, double check and make sure that nobody else got added. So I'm just kidding. So this weekend, for those of you who didn't know, I'm going to be teaching a CISSP prep course for some of the Seattle folks and an online component. And so my job was to do level module 2 and module 4, which according to the new 8-domain CISSP model is asset management and security, which is the number 1 and number 2 on the CIS top 18 controls, the most boring ones because nobody wants to do asset management and asset control. And chapter 4, which is one of the largest ones, which is network and telecom security, which I did in 2018 at a similar boot camp that we did. I am reading through the CBK for the ISC squared CISSP stuff, and I am, how do I say this? There's a lot that the CBK and the ISC squared folks assume that security people do in the real world. Some of the things they just say is, oh, yeah, you're just going to implement a data labeling program. And I was like, you treat it like a bulletin or a bullet underneath one section of this one chapter, this one heading in this one chapter. And I'm like, do you know how difficult it will be just to get one of those bullets in that list of 7 or 8 done? I mean, a data labeling program by itself would be a huge undertaking. And when they say you, I'm going to have to, I don't know if I'm going to have to remind people, but laser guided munitions, man. I don't need warheads on foreheads. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just think that I have to teach the test, so it's not like I can go far afield on this. One of the things for chapter 2, one of the organizers reached out and he said, "Hey, we're going to be going from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time," and he's like, chapter 1's fairly long because it's all about threat modeling and all this stuff, and I really don't want to look at chapter 1 because I'm like, if chapter 2 and chapter 4, well, chapter 4 so far isn't bad because, to be fair, network and telecommunication security hasn't changed much in forever. I mean, they're still talking about collision domains and broadcast domains and talking about, if you have hubs on your network, then you'll have to worry about, CDMA. No, what is it? Collision domains, this happens if two machines on the same network send the packet at the same time. I'm like, that never happens anymore because hubs no longer exist. But because it's in the 6th edition of the CBK, Common Body of Knowledge, we have to teach to the test. So I'm like, I can't go too far afield on this because it's like, I can't go, this is all garbage. You're not going to need this. Well, yeah, the test is going to say, what is the role of a data protector or something like that. So I have to pretty much just teach to the book, which kind of sucks. I find myself having to swallow a lot of opinion about, you're never going to do this, or you're going to do half a dozen of these things all at the same time during this same 30-minute meeting. So don't go, hey, we're going to, sit down and talk about, one system or something in particular. And so it sucks that I have very little leeway in terms of what I can and can't say because stuff I add that, hey, once you take this test, you'll never have to deal with this bullshit again. Or you're never going to deal with this in normal environments. So remember it for the test, but then drop everything else. Come back and see me when you're done with the test and you got your CISP, and then we'll talk about what it's really like out there. Which I wish I'd have had when I was going through mine, but it is what it is. So, so I get to do that on this Saturday and next Saturday. So I get to spend the majority of my 2 Saturdays teaching to a test that I'm not sure actually makes sense anymore. So if I could switch to be more product security or something like that, or become a product manager, I would let my CISP lapse like a mofo. Because there's just no reason to have it anymore, which sucks, but it is what it is. So let's see. Just triage 101. Your cheap Android TV streaming box may have a dangerous pants backdoor. Oh my. New research has found some streaming devices and dozens of Android and iOS apps secretly being used for fraud or other cybercrime. Okay. Let's see. Daniel Milisk discovered cheap Android TV streaming box called the T95 was infected with malware right out of the box. Okay, I've never heard of the T95. I'm sure it's a high-class piece of software. Age of Music, you have intimate knowledge of the T95 set-top box? They're like a Swiss Army knife of doing bad things on the internet. Okay. It's infected with malware right out of the box with multiple other researchers confirming the findings. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Human security is revealing new details about the scope of the infected devices and interconnected web of fraud schemes linked to them. Can I have that link? I may need to make a call. No, please tell me this isn't sitting in one of your conference rooms somewhere. That's probably not a good thing. Let's see. T95H. Here's the Looks like maybe the proof of concept code for the malware. So you can grab that too. Yeah. Pre-owned malware in ROM for all Winner H616 and 618 and Rock Chip Android TV boxes. I mean the hand behind that. 7 Android TV boxes and 1 tablet with the backdoors installed. 200 different models of Android devices may be impacted. Devices are in homes, businesses, and schools across the U.S. That's what happens when you put out a cheap IoT device. People are going to buy it. And then, we can just drop whatever we want on it. Bad Box, which involves compromised Android devices and the way they're involved in fraud and cybercrime. Second, Peach Pit. I think we've talked about Peach Pit before. Cheap Android streaming boxes, $50 or less, sold online and in brick-and-mortar shops. These set-top boxes are unbranded or sold under different names, partly obscuring their source. Human Security says in its report, its researchers spotted an Android app that appeared to be linked to inauthentic traffic and connected to the domain flyermobi.com. So if you have check your firewall logs for something called flyermobi.com. I'm not going to post that link in the chat because it will pop up as a link that people could click on. 7 TV boxes, T95, 95Z, 95 Max, 88, Q9, X12 Plus, and MXQ Pro 5G. Wow. Okay, who makes these things? Who makes this shite? Let us see. Multiple other researchers. Oh, Android TV boxes sold on Amazon come preloaded with software. All Winner and Rock Chip. Okay. Okay, 8 nanometer process, A76, 8K video codec. So yeah, Android and Linux OS. So yeah, there you go. Headquartered in Fuzhou, with branches and subsidiaries in Shenzhen, Shanghai, Beijing, Hangzhou, and Hong Kong. So, yeah. Yeah. So they're, it's almost like Huawei, the Huawei type stuff. Come preloaded with malware from the BeyondLAN. Apologies for that. BeyondLAN. Which we investigated last year. Malware discovered by infosec adds your smart set-top box to a botnet for initiating coordinated attacks. Yow. Okay, affected models. Yeah, All Winner, Rock Chip. Looking at the traffic sent by these devices, the researcher was surprised to find a number of DNS requests sent to publicly known to be botnet C2 servers. Stage 1 payload for the malware and contacted Linode, who had been hosting some of the CNC servers, getting them shut down. Rock Chip is respectable, but they're like in there. They got. Oh. Well, so yeah, they're, I guess. So so it's the chipset is fine. It's just what gets added after they get sold to whatever company is using them, I guess. Yeah. TV devices are built in China somewhere before they reach the hands of resellers. Researchers don't know where the firmware backdoor is added to them. So this backdoor, based on Triada malware, first spotted by security firm Kaspersky in 2016, modifies an element of the Android operating system, allowing itself to access apps installed on the devices. Then it phones home. So they've somehow have been rooted, or something gets added to the Android device. Either it's another application or APK or something like that. Multiple devices, creation of fake Gmail and WhatsApp accounts, remote code installation. I mean, there's a reason why we suggest to teams to Rock Chip. Yeah, they just provide the socks. Yeah, so it's like if you buy a Linksys router, it may have an Atheros chipset in it, and you're buying a Linksys This is dating myself, but yeah, you buy a Buffalo wireless router or something like that, and it's got a Raylink wireless chipset in it. Raylink, and in this case, according to Lady P, Rock chip is good. The Buffaloes or what have you, the resellers or the people who are using their chipsets at scale are not in this case. Human Security calls Peach Pit. Is this an old October 4th? Okay, so yeah, this is updated. Okay, Matt Burgess. Okay, so yeah, there's the malware in the Rock chip and Allwinner stuff. Use at your own risk. The link in the chat. Use at your own risk. Do not go and download this stuff and just blindly run it if you are not aware of how malware works. Don't be stupid. In the adage of turn around, don't drown. Don't download this stuff unless you actually know what you're doing. And if you think you know what you're doing, you probably don't. Especially if you're Anyway, so pay decrypted version archive classes.dex. Fun fact, flyermoby.com is a URL also used by the Gigaset smartphone supply chain attack in 2021. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is Android mobile devices in Germany. All right. So it's probably the same group or people who have taken it over or, they're a service that people can use to do C2. So very nice. Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Close that out. Let's see what else we got. There's no shortage of news. There's the Looney Tunables. That's glibc, I think. Hundreds of malicious Python packages found stealing sensitive data. Okay. Yeah, great. For All Secure announces first dynamic software bill of materials for application security. I'm interested in that only because having to deal with these latest vulnerabilities, I just want to see what this is about. So, yes, world most advanced security, blah, blah, blah. Debut of its runtime dynamic SBOM solution for Mayhem security product to show organizations which components are present at runtime and further prioritize in each order of risk and speed remediation for open source or other third-party vulnerabilities. Okay. Runtime aware SBOM. Okay. Uses intelligence to prioritize and filter results from software composition analysis, SCA, and SAS tools. Eliminates AppSec noise and overhead. Dark reading is advertising for this company for some reason. Must be a good reason there. This article brought to you by. It is PR Newswire, so it is what it is. Hey, Beta Wolf, what's up? Is Intel evil because people install malware on PCs? The Beta Wolf problem. Oh, no. Brought to you by chugged water. Yes, exactly. Well, it's that or I, clear my throat and cough a lot. So, effective use of SBOM can help an organization understand whether a given vulnerability affects software. Yeah, between SBOMs and just plain old ass visibility, right? A known solution? Okay, that's pretty good. My biggest issue is just visibility. I'm one of those people that I don't know if it's I can't trust people, but it's like if I ask somebody to do something, I hope that they'll do it. Being able to get development teams to work towards what I need, and they have no skin in the game, or they, maybe they've, Maybe they've caught on to the fact that, hey, I need them to do something, and that may cause them to do more work. So they're like, oh yeah, let's just go home for the day. Yeah, I'm okay. I would just like to have, or it should be something that we ask as security people, to have more visibility into code repos, for instance, for scanning tools, or, to be able to do our work more efficiently by not having to hound people for that information. And maybe that's something where it's like you don't have access or you don't have a need to know, and that's fair. But there needs to be some kind of mechanism in an organization to go, I need to know. Oh, I need to know about X. And I've actually taken to kind of like what me and Mr. Betcher used to do when I think I've mentioned this a couple times on the show. One of the last things I did before I left the company to go work at CrowdStrike was trying to get rid of some crufty firewall rules. And, it was trying to figure out what each network did, the to and from. So this is from this network to this network segment. We had these things. And this was back when we still had a data center, like 2 data centers. So the only thing I had to go on was hit count on the firewall. They were Cisco firewalls, I believe. But, the idea of the hit count for me was that traffic gets routed using this rule. And every time traffic is routed using that rule, the hit count goes. And so my thing was I had to spend a couple of months gaining, firewall rule sets. It was like, I need these 7 firewalls over and over and over again. And there were like 15,000 of them. I was a security guy, and me and Mr. Betcher were security principals. And we were trying to, control our ingress and egress there, Beta Wolf. So from the defensive point of view, it made a lot of sense to figure out, okay, where's our traffic going? Do these network segments still exist? Are we routing traffic to network segments that we no longer own, which would be a bad thing? And of course, there were PCI requirements too. So it was like, are we passing traffic from a PCI to a non-PCI environment? So there were about 10,000 firewall rules, I think. 10,000 of them. I mean, there was like 2 or 3 of our central firewalls had, several thousand firewall rules. But my job was to track down across several firewalls how things moved. And it was like, 10.20.something.something was this network range for this client. We'll call it that. And, the vast majority of our firewall rules had 0 hit count month over month over month. And I was like, okay, boss, we need to get this, take these out because it's been 3 months. This one hasn't been looked at. These haven't been, hit. And it's because either there's a more generic rule, which makes sense, or that network segment doesn't exist anymore. And the only way I could figure out what those rules went to, and to get to the point, I had to go through things like our trouble ticket system or our change management ticket system, which was a god-awful system, but there was a lot of information in there. And so that's what I've been taking to doing now for like gaining visibility into things. I've got access to a couple of JIRAs, 3 or 4 JIRAs, and our internal ticketing system that we use to cut tickets to teams. So these things are 10, 15 years old. They're a wealth of information. So when we tell people, hey, you need to secure your JIRAs, you need to secure your ticketing systems, as a bad guy, if I needed information, I would just go in and I'd start querying ticketing systems on, what different things do if I had the time and effort. But what I did with this was, I'm just going into our ticketing system. I'm saying libwebp, looking for tickets where people have submitted, hey, we're building out these systems, or, we're running patches on this. And I can go, I can infer based on past tickets that these teams have or use libwebp or libvpx or glibc or what have you. It's really OSINT basically. You're and it's not OSINT in the strict word like I'm searching on the internet for it, but it's well, actually, like the Arch Linux stuff I looked up earlier, you're I have to know what to look for. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for everything like FFmpeg. Okay, here's everything that has FFmpeg. They're not mentioning libwebp, but then I can go to that team and go, hey, what's your compile, look like? What libraries are you including in your libwebp? Yeah, Closent is correct. Their Age of Music, and I'm one of those people. I'll just pop up on a Slack and I'll be like, okay, look, 2 years ago you submitted a ticket. It says you have this stuff. Is this still legit? And if you don't know, then you need to give me your PM or what have you. I didn't necessarily need access to the code repos, but I almost call it a side channel thing because, people put so much stuff inside of their Jiras, inside of their wiki pages, inside of their ticketing systems, numerous ticketing systems. Just having access to the ticketing systems is a wealth of knowledge. Some of it may not be legit anymore. And that's one of the things you come up with. They're like, oh, that team doesn't exist anymore, or that person doesn't, live here anymore, or whatever. And so, having to parse that out, it does take time. And that's why I'm like, we don't have good. Yeah, we actually just talked about a Confluence bug that is exploitable in the wild if you have Confluence, which is part of the Atlassian suite. So if you have Jira, you probably have Confluence because that's just how this works. But yeah, there are other ways of gaining that information or things you can infer based on that information. Some of it does get pretty old. It's like, oh, here's a 5-year-old ticket from 2016. Do these people still exist? Oh no, I moved on to another team, but you can get a hold of these folks. So some of it's being an open communicator, not being afraid to open up a chat window and go, hey, fuck, and getting that information back. But yeah, it has served me well in my career to be able to go, I'll go look in the ticketing system, and you can find out a lot of stuff there. You can connect a lot of dots that way too. This is like intelligence analyst kind of stuff where it's like you're connecting the dots, you're making the inferences, you're, putting down lists of things, especially if you're doing things like product management. Hold on there. All right. Sorry, I'm control shift T'ing, so there it is. I put it up in the chat earlier there, Beta Wolf, but doink. This is as of for October. Privesk, Flaw, Confluence Data Center and Server. You may not have that. That's a fairly specific product. It's not like the Confluence Wiki stuff. And if you are if your Jira or Confluence isn't on-prem, you've probably already got the patched version because Atlassian, if you're forced to use the web version, you're probably pretty solid. They're going to update their stuff fairly quickly, and you'll have 2 things you can do, nothing and like it. So. But yeah, I found, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and I could have had my camera up here, but it's just interesting to see the. Sometimes it requires you to be inventive and to think about what tools you have available to you. A lot of people would be like, I need source code access now, and it's like, maybe you can't have that, but developers and managers and people, if you have a ticketing system, especially one that's got a lot of longevity to it, there's going to be a lot of good stuff inside there that you can make inferences to and get that intelligence that you need. And then it's just something as simple as reach out and touch someone, right? In a platonic manner, not from when HR will come and talk to you. So, yeah. Oh, yay. I'm hoping that by going over the news, we will be able to better answer our Age of Music. Yeah, we're going to have Gail from HR come and talk to you. Yeah. 100,000 ICS systems exposed on the public web. Sure, why not? I still don't understand that, but rules for thee and not for me, right? Yep. Rules are for other people. BitSite reports its data. Things got better over year with the number of exposed devices dropping since 2019. I wonder why that is. People finally getting the hint that, oh, maybe we shouldn't have our, nuclear reactors, status page online, or, the ability to, control rods. Wow, things are definitely moving in a, rate. That's pretty cool. Tourism and hospitality, well, yeah, they've been hit fairly regularly. 3-month moving average. Okay, so wow, something really big happened there at the end of 2020. Interesting. Yeah, something. I mean, there's a. I know Beta Wolf. Everyone wants to make sure their nuclear reactors are going to be safe, and you don't want to get up out of your, off your couch when the Golden Bachelor's on, to go and move those control rods. I get it. Yes, I can completely understand. Industrial systems are not exempt from critical vulnerabilities. Yes, the only difference is they can very rarely get patched because you don't have a spare nuclear reactor to test on. 20% of all deployed ICSs are vulnerable to critical security flaws. Yes. That is a known quantity, and I'm surprised it's only 20%. Yeah. I'm wondering if it's going down because, ICS manufacturers are like, look, you're not going to put this on the internet, or we're going to make it impossible for you to put it on the internet, or it doesn't need to connect to the internet, or I don't know. I don't know what an MSSP for a nuclear reactor looks like. But yeah. Cool. Age of Music, I hope they aren't, using that in a sensitive area, or they wonder why it's running hot because they're the Monero that they're mining on that is not doing well. So, it's doing very well for them. I mean, we still have the most, obviously, because we have so many connected systems. With Europe's, the interesting thing for me is the dark areas in Asia, like Pakistan, Afghanistan. Is it just because they don't have a lot of ICS stuff, or they have like a Chinese firewall kind of thing, so their country, and then of course Africa is almost completely without ICS, which that's an interesting thing as well. I mean, in large parts of South America, except, that's maybe it's just because they don't have data in those areas. It could be that too. Could just be that too. I told my friend it was a bad idea not to do it for the record. I wasn't sure if he ever did. Okay. In the off chance, he could figure out how to move that, Monero to someplace else. Then he could, mine his own Monero. Let me see. Gay furry hackers brag of second NATO break-in. Okay. NATO's got. Okay. 1 second. There we go. Okay. I don't know. So on Sunday, the sieged sec crew claimed it broke into 6 NATO web portals. Oh. Okay, so an e-learning website. Okay. Lessons learned portal. Okay. Communities of interest cooperation portal. Okay, so the only one that might actually have anything of note on it would be like the logistics network portal, maybe. NATO standardization office. I guess so. Yeah, when I saw the link there, I was like, where's this gonna go? So the astonishing siege sec hackers have struck NATO once more. Okay, great. Everything could be a spy. Yeah, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I don't know what your orgs have been doing to get people to, be secure or something, but Yeah, tis the season. Tis the season. I saw something. So, data classifications. Apparently, you can declassify something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can share it openly. Nothing security is a joke at my work. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Maybe see hack. It's a hacktivist group. So yeah, I don't know, and I don't know why I'm going back to this site. The Siege Sec crew. The hacktivist. Oh, they describe themselves as made up of gay furry hackers, usually target orgs. Sounds like they're like a lol sec kind of thing where they make the jokes and they ha-has. Yeah, but you're watching it. If you're watching this at work, then you're going to be like, But yeah, so you need to make it extremely clear that you're not a furry or gay. You're a gay furry. Right, exactly. I guess you have to have names for yourselves. I mean, you can't call yourself Wonder Panda or something like that. So, let's see. Do not make clips of that, Beta Wolf. Gods. No, I'm just kidding. Make all the clips you want. Nobody's gonna look at that stuff anyway. I mean, let me see. Researchers link Dragon Egg Android spyware to Light Spy iOS surveillanceware. New findings have identified connections between Android spyware called Dragon Egg and another sophisticated modular iOS surveillanceware tool called Light Spy. Dragon Egg, alongside Worm Spy, first disclosed in July 2023 by Lookout, is a strain of malware capable of gathering sensitive data from Android devices, contributed to APT41. APT41. Which is also known as barium. There they are. Aw. They got nice pictures. Look at them. There you go. Let's see. APT41. That's nice. My name, my voice is my password. There you go. There you go. Yeah, the guy sleeping behind the wheel. Yeah. There we go. We have Win NTTI. That's right. I remember them now. That's why they were, yes. Double Dragon, Amoeba. Yeah. So anyway, Dutch firm, Threat Fabric. Third guy looks like a Which one? Third guy. Can you imagine? This is so the second guy here. That's his LinkedIn photo. He's wanting to get a job, somewhere. And this guy. Oh yeah, that guy. So are these like the employee photos? It's like you're working there now, and that's what that's like. Oh my goodness. Of course, they're being tried in absentia because they're not going to be coming and hanging out with us over here in the States anytime soon. Well, Beta Wolf, you joke, but I heard several news stories on Risky Business where they were talking about the onboarding process. Like somebody got into some hacker, group, like an APT type group, and they have a whole onboarding. They have benefits. They have bowling league. It's crazy. They get on the job training. I was like, wow, that's nice. What is it? Hacker groups sound like, they're everything we want our companies to be, but we can't get them to be that. We'll bring people in and train them up. They have benefits that are good. Yeah, they get extra team building exercises. Exactly. And they get paid pretty well on the backs of doing bad shite. But yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Yeah, it's a shame that we can't do that. So anyway, they figured out, how to make these connections between these systems, orchestrator plugins for Light Spy and Dragon Egg. They got some. I would make a terrible threat actor as well, Age of Music, because I have morals. So maybe it's because I not working for the Chinese government, and so I can afford to have morals. So, but yeah, there's some information in there. I'm sure you can find more information about Dragon Egg online. Looks like there's a couple of links in here. Yeah, Chinese APT 41, Worm Spy, Dragon Egg. Axiom, Black Fly, Brass Typhoon, formerly Barium, Bronze Atlas, Hoodoo, Wicked Panda. That's the other one. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is why I've said no to the NSA every time they've asked. Easy there, Beta Wolf. Easy there with the name dropping of all the 3-letter agencies. Okay. Yeah, MI6 keeps asking me to come work for him. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to. It's too much technology, too much paperwork. They won't give me a car every time I ask. It's all right though. Beta Wolf, I wouldn't take a government job again in a heartbeat. Trust me. I don't think they're getting paid right now, are they? Government's shut down, right? Yeah, see, Age of Music, I can't, my boss joked with me. He's like, if you drop your work laptop, you could probably get a new one. And I was like, I can't even bring myself to dropping my laptop so that I could get a new one because this one sucks. I have to wait another 5 months, I think, to get my every 3 years. So yeah, my 3-year anniversary will be February. So yeah, I have to wait another 5 months so I can get a laptop upgrade. Probably go to a MacBook this time for my shitty ass HP laptop because, FBI has never been enough. NSA pays the most, and CIA pays very well. I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I'm already used to not advertising who I work for, so there you go. Of course, I'd never be able to do this again. Somebody would be watching. I'd always have one viewer on my stream. I guess that's an upside to that. There would always be one viewer watching my stream. So it'd be like, I know you're there. But yeah. Let me see. What else we got? Oh. WatchGuard Technologies, Unified Leader, whatever, derp. Among notable findings, latest Internet Security Report featuring data from Q2, 95% of malware hides behind encryption. Well, sure, that makes sense. I mean, why would they put it in plain text when they can hide it just like the other information? Most malware lurks behind TLS, SSL encryption used by secured websites. Well, duh. I don't understand that. Yes. Organizations that don't inspect SSL and TLS traffic at the network perimeter are likely missing most malware. Duh. Furthermore, zero-day malware dropped to 11% of total malware infections, an all-time low. When inspecting malware over encrypted communications, the share of evasive detections increased 66%, indicating attackers continue to deliver sophisticated malware via primarily encryption. Yeah. I'm betting. Why do I think that WatchGuard probably intercepts and looks at TLS and SSL traffic? I think that's their bag. I bet. Let's go see if my confirmation is correct. WatchGuard Technologies. So they don't sponsor the show. I would have issues probably with them doing so. Network security. Yep. All your stuff's going to get proxied through their enhanced defense. They got pew pew maps. Pew pew. SD-WAN. Yep, there it is. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah. They do TLS and SSL. Yep. I've heard they're extremely big on work-life balance. Beta Wolf, are you talking about the three-letter agencies up top? Oh. I would imagine, yeah, they'd want you to have a life outside of employment because they'd want you to have some kind of, mental health kind of thing. So, yeah, that would be cool. The hobbies, though, would be like, okay, you can't talk about it. Oh, you know what? World at War. That's what I was thinking about. Leaked manuals. So, yeah. No, that's a TikTok. So somebody leaked another so this site's called War Thunder. Apparently it's a game or something, but it's really like true to military like specs and everything. Yeah, War Thunder. Yeah. Apparently somebody had leaked one of the manuals for. I forget which I want to say it's a helicopter or something. I don't want to download it. Are you crazy? No, Jesus, man. Yeah, no Age of Music. Let's not post up Apache specs. But yeah, somebody had posted up something recently, and they said that the moderators are actually getting far better at that now, where it's like, somebody's like, oh, no, it doesn't do this. And somebody's like, yeah, I know it does. I know it does do that because I fly these bitches. But it was a manual that had been declassified, but it was still considered restricted for release. So it's also easier to talk about something other than your work at social gatherings if you have some other kind of life. That's true. I've often thought about doing other streams about like role playing games and stuff as well to keep myself from going nuts. Because that's why I started listening to audiobooks that aren't security related or listening to security podcasts when I'm walking, because it's like I have to deal with information security at work, and then I took a walk and it'd be like I'm listening to Risky Business, or I'm listening to defensive security podcast, or the Breaking Down security podcast, wank. And then it was like, no, it's just too much security stuff, and so I started listening to like High Rollers, D&D stuff. I listen to music too. Yeah, I do. Dogs are fun. I have cats. I talk to my cats. Does that count? They don't talk back. Well, they do talk back, but it's mostly scathing, complaints about my lack of baby metal and death clock. Okay. Very cool. Right on. Yeah, I got 3 of them, but yeah, so. Oh, you thought it was over? Weapon system manuals. Holy God! Somebody is just posting up weapon systems manuals for the F-15E. Wow. Okay. Dumb asses. Yeah, the moderators over there have to like monitor that 24/7. I mean, that would almost be your job at that point. It'd be like making sure somebody, idiot doesn't leak export restricted or classified documents in the subreddit. Yeah, I will personally shut this place down for a week. Oh my God. Stop committing federal crimes. Yep. Tom Morello just did. Oh, baby. Oh, okay. I thought baby metal was a genre of music, not an actual. Tom Morello. The name sounds familiar. Who do I know Tom Morello for? Yeah, Rage. Yeah, Rage. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Ransomware disrupts hospitality and healthcare. Let's see. Obfuscation technique usage in phishing emails on the rise. Did anybody get the gift card thing that Amazon sent out? I've gotten a couple of, hey, your Amazon Primes have expired. You probably should click on this link to go and re-up your stuff. But I saw Amazon Visa gift card. Email news. Yeah, false email confirmations. Yeah, for gift cards they didn't buy. Yeah. I got several of these, and then I got also, hey, your life insurance calls. You know, Beta Wolf, if you just don't answer the phone for people you don't know, then, that also helps. It comes and goes for me. A lot of times mine is like people who want to buy my house in San Diego. And it's like, look, I just moved here. No. And, they're going to give me, cash offers and stuff. So I just find it's easier to not answer my phone, especially if it's a 619 or 858 number, because I don't have anybody I work with or know here that are 619 or 858. Or 760. Yeah. The one thing I do like about my Pixel is it has a very robust call blocking feature. Oh yeah. See, I don't see in Washington. It was like, I don't have people who call me who have Washington numbers, so it was easy to 206 numbers were instantly blocked because it was like very few that I didn't have in my phone already for that. I got a phone number out of Mexico because I don't know anyone there. If it comes from New Mexico, I don't have to answer it. Exactly. When I lived in Austin, any 858 or 619 numbers I got when I lived in Austin or Seattle, I was like, nope. I use emails, phone numbers, and credit cards for each. Yeah. Yep, and if you get good enough at putting out a new email for every time for things you sign up for, you get pretty good about figuring out which companies sold your information and to whom. So, but yeah, I got that. And it was like on the first day of Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So I was like, everybody's sending out, Amazon's sending out, phishing training for everybody today. Because, some people clicked on that. Got some Twitch stuff. Here, let me see. Okay. Build Zoid. Okay. Oh, well, hello. Psst. What? Oh, well, hold on. People have been talking about. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Unplugged myself. Door's open, so got to. Mouth. Yeah. Come on up. Yes, you're fancy. Come here. Okay. There we go. That should be better. Okay. I don't know what happened. I went to open my door so I could let you in, and I got disconnected. So, anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I got this thing for the next 2 Saturdays I got to go do for ISC squared and CISSP. You can't hear anything? Okay. I can see the little voice. I can see the voice meter. I can see the voice meter working. Oh, we can hear you now. Okay, cool. There must have been a little delay. Yeah, that's what I get for, having a shorter USB cable than normal. So, yeah, I got this boot camp thing this weekend for the next 2 Saturdays, and I'm thinking about setting up some training independently and making some curriculum for this that's a little more. I wouldn't say custom, but it would be, a little shorter and a little more tailored. I'll get some insights on the test, from what's going on. But it's interesting, the new testing mechanism. It's like there's 175 questions, and you can pass as early as like 100 questions, depending on how well you've done in those 100 questions. But if you need all 175, then they grade you that way. So I do want to do some training to kind of create some things as I go along, because now I've got cool background, and I've got my green screen and everything. So yeah, trying to look at build. I see it, yes. But yeah, just trying to build up some things, trying to create some new money and ideas like that, because eventually I'd like to not have to work a normal 9-to-5 job. So once I get some confidence in me and start building out some things, then I'll be able to create content that people will be able to buy through like YouTube or what have you. So we'll see what happens. But let's see who's online, shall we? Twitch.tv Breaksec. Give a man a Twitch channel. Give a man a green screen. He'll make training course. Oh, I'd always planned on doing the training courses. It's just there's a good Lord. Oh my God. Okay, that's wow. Good thing I didn't load up the Twitch channel. There's a lot of 18 plus Twitch streamers live on there. Oh my God. Okay, let's. So Tiberius is watching Starfield, and let me see. Who else? Let me go see who's suggested for Tiberius here. Who's online right now? Let me see. Sasha Gray. Yeah, Lady P, Age of Music was like, oh, you look, professional. I was like, yeah, it's because I got a chroma on now and everything. Makers and crafting. Oh, Japanese woodblock prints. Okay. All right. Well, we can go hit up Tiberius. Let me grab that, and we will go and raid Tiberius. All right. So I'll be back on Friday. And Sunday, Miss Berlin and I and Mr. Betcher will probably come online, and we'll do some discussion. But yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Be safe, be kind, and we're gonna go watch Tiberius zoom around in Starfield. So y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.